Hello, my name is Dasha and this is a midterm video for business modeling spreadsheets. My research question is preparedness of ICU to accommodate population 60 and over during the COVID-19 pandemic. In the light of ongoing coronavirus, we want to know hospitals in which states might have the most difficulty accommodating people who need to be admitted into a hospital. As we already know, people at the highest risk are those with pre-existing conditions and people of ages 60 and over. My data was taken from Kaggle. It's about over a week old. It had data by state, by county, the total of ICU beds in the county, population 60 and plus, and then the ratios, the population 60 and over, and the residents age 60 and over per each ICU bed. I didn't want to have to work with the counties. I wanted to work with just all 50 states. So I put that in a pivot table which consolidated the data, and I just took all these 4 columns, put it in a new spreadsheet. This is where most of my analysis happened. First things first, I wanted to look at the population percentage per state, population 60 and over. So column D has population 60 and over. Then I wanted to see what is the ratio or the rates out of these people who are able to get, if necessary, a bed at a hospital. So I created this ICU bed coverage ratio, which is just a proportion of the beds available per the population over 60. I applied conditional formatting to color codes these 2 indicators. So with population over 60, the lower the number, the greener the code is, because if there is less people in a state ages 60 and over, means there is less risk of people going to a hospital. With the ICU bed coverage, it's actually the opposite. The lower the number means the less ICU beds the state has per person in the ages 60 and over. So we consider this to be at the highest risk. Ideally, all 50 states has the best coverage. And over here, I like looking at the upper and lower limits and also at averages, just to see where this state might stand. So here I have data for minimums, maximums, and the average. And even simply inserting a small slicer with the states, let's see, we can look at states like California. Let's take New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. So over here we see California compared to other states is sort of on the better side in terms of they don't have as many people ages 60 and over, let's say like Connecticut. At the same time, California has much lower percentage of ICU bed coverage. In my further analysis, we'll go about analyzing these numbers. Now, I wanted to categorize the states and just group them by the percentage of population. So I created a new pivot table with the states, population over 60 percentage, and the ICU bed coverage. I then grouped the population over 60%, which I ended up having 4 groups, with Maine just having the most of the population, but we see that ICU bed coverage is pretty decent. And then based off this pivot table, I created my dashboard. So here I have just a snapshot of the upper and lower limits and the averages, just again to, when looking at the different states and comparing them, to know where they might be standing among all 50 states. I created a slicer of the ranges. If I collapse this chart, so these are my 4 ranges for the population over 60. The pie chart that shows this data, and obviously the state slicer, so we can further look into the details, pick and choose the states. So our biggest range of the population was 0.19 to 0.24. So let's choose that, and let's choose population over 0.29, over 29%, which was Maine. So here I have my bar chart with all the states, and on the y-axis is the ICU bed coverage. So the lower the bar, the higher the state is at the risk of not having sufficient amount of ICU beds. At the same time, the higher the axis means the more people ages 60 and over the state has. So let's just pick what we where we are. We are in the Northeast, so let's choose New York, New Jersey, Maine, Connecticut. We can look at Pennsylvania. Right, so we see that Maine has, even though has the most people 60 and over, but it has also very high ICU bed coverage, while New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, they are on much lower side. And to finish up my visual representation of data, I put everything in the Power View, in the interactive map, and by zooming on the Northeast, we can see the same what we saw over here. We see that New York, Connecticut, New Jersey have smaller circles, which is ICU bed coverage, while Maine, and we can see over here, and Vermont and New Hampshire are, we would say, best prepared. Now, this completes my video. I hope you found it interesting. It might not be the most uplifting considering the situation we're all in. However, I felt it was important to look and analyze data using visual representation about a topic that is on everyone's mind right now. And to finish up, so please cover your nose and your mouth when you sneeze, stay healthy, and take care of those around you so we have less people having to go to the hospitals. Thank you for watching.